What's going on, guys? Fuck, wait, hold on. What's going on, guys? It's me, Max McCrea, and I'm back with another video. Today, it's going to be a long one. My battery's low, so I don't know how, if this can hold. We're going to be, hold this whole footage. Today, we're going to be reacting to the newest Alex Bale SpongeBob conspiracy theory number 8, the time-traveling ghost pirate theory. So, I believe, from the teasers that we saw, I believe it's about the Flying Dutchman. He also, Alex Bale said on Twitter that, you know, that it's gonna start off with a big twist. I thought it was for the ARG, but now that I think about it, I think it's for the theory, because also, I have been away for a long time. There are a lot of things that I need to tell you. So, bad news and good news. Bad news is we sadly lost 2 of our animals that we have, and you guys saw on the pets video. I think one you might already know is Colada. You know, my chameleon, Colada. Yeah, he died. This was a few months ago. And he got replaced with these 2. They don't have names. They're basically just like geckos. Second one we lost is my bearded dragon, Freddy. So, yeah, he was in this cage, and he was just lying right there, just lifeless, dead. There's Beauty, and I know that might look like Freddy, he's still alive, but no, that's Junior. He's in there now. So this right here is basically empty. But I think we'll get another animal soon. But the good news is we have a new animal. We have a new person in the house. Can you see me? I'm going to get him. He's right here. It's gonna be very hard to get him. He's right behind here. Look who this guy is. This is my new cat. His name is Oreo. Perfect name, am I right? And he's a new member of the family. You might see him in a few other videos. For now, I introduced him to you, so he's now going back in his little... He's gonna go back in his little hole. Okay, let's get started with the real video. So, for this video only, I'm only going to be reacting to the theory part. Only to the, theory part. And not the, skits that's in between these. And from the look of it, he's sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. And I'm not going to be including that, because with the theory and the skits and the fucking ad in this video combined, this is a 35-minute video, and it's in, but just me talking the videos in 5 minutes. So let's start, shall we? Again, only the theory part. I'm going to be skipping the skits and the ad. So 1, 2, 3.
Alright, so this time, instead of ending with the big twist, I'm just gonna open with it. The Flying Dutchman is the ghost of Patchy the Pirate. This is a
Okay.
claim that makes absolutely no sense. They look different, they act different, and most importantly, Patchy the Pirate is alive at the same time we see the Flying Dutchman. It would be impossible to prove that they're the same person, right? Well,
Yeah.
I like a challenge. This is the time-traveling ghost pirate theory.
That's what confused me about the title, time traveling.
You mean the...
Okay, I'm gonna skip this, including the ad. So, boom, part 1. The tragedy of Patchy the Pirate. Okay. Tell me.
Before I get to how these characters connect, I have to explain the tragic backstory of Patchy the Pirate. I'm Patchy the Pirate, president of the SpongeBob SquarePants fan club. Patchy the Pirate is the president of the SpongeBob fan club, and they often cut to him during special episodes to host the show and talk to the audience. He fits in perfectly with my television theory, and clearly works for the in-universe SpongeBob SquarePants showrunners as some kind of mascot for the show. Boring! Well, if it isn't my less than amusing sidekick, Patchy the Parrot. Patchy is this weird, lonely guy who's only...
Yeah, I hated that fucking bird.
And I'm also pretty sure Patchy wants to eat him. Shiver me timbers, it's Patchy! I wonder what parrot tastes like! But that's not what this theory is.
Okay.
If you rewatch all the episodes of Patchy, you start to notice a bit of a disturbing development with this character. Patchy has devoted his entire life to SpongeBob, but that devotion is very one-sided. And the more time that goes on, the more resentful Patchy becomes of SpongeBob.
Okay.
In the season 3 episode
Party Pooper Pants.
Patchy throws a house party and tries to invite SpongeBob, but he doesn't show up. Say, you didn't bring SpongeBob with you, did you? Gee, I sure hope he got his invitation.
I'd sure like to go to this party, but I can't read the invitation.
But Patchy doesn't really seem to be that upset about it. Ah, well. But then things start to take a turn in the episode The Sponge Who Could Fly. Patchy follows a map and goes on a crazy adventure to find the legendary Lost SpongeBob episode, and after finally getting it, this is what plays.
Yeah, the walk.
That's it? That's the last episode? That was just a bunch of cheap walk cycles! So, Patchy got let down by SpongeBob again, but I'm sure he'll get over it just like
He's gonna have a breakdown, right?
SpongeBob betrayed us! I'm sorry I ever started this stupid fan club in the first place! Patchy has a full-on mental breakdown. Now, eventually he does find the real Lost episode and goes back to normal, but this is just the start of Patchy's transformation into a much darker character. In the Season 6 episode, Truth or Square, Patchy throws a massive television extravaganza to celebrate 10 years of SpongeBob. There is a ton of production value and celebrities that Patchy managed to get. There is no way
LeBron?
SpongeBob wouldn't show up for it.
Pink?
SpongeBob SquarePants! What do you mean he's not coming? 10 years I've been president in this fan club. Patchy has dedicated 10 years of his life to SpongeBob, and he can't even be bothered to show up once. And this never even gets resolved in the episode either. Patchy tries to find SpongeBob, thinks he's about to meet him, but then it turns out it was all just a dream.
Mister, are you okay?
SpongeBob?
No, it's just me, the guy on the pen.
Patchy's one-sided obsession with SpongeBob is making him delusional, and this is by no means the last time Patchy will hallucinate meeting SpongeBob. In Atlantis SquarePantis, Patchy gets lost in the desert and once again hallucinates SpongeBob. Uh-oh, here come the hallucinations.
What the fuck?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
But then, in SpongeBob's big birthday blowout, it seems like he finally really does meet SpongeBob.
From your biggest fan. I have a fan?
surprise! It's Patchy the Pirate! Happy birthday, SpongeBob!
Thank you, Patsy.
But even if they don't explicitly say it, this is definitely another hallucination. It's right after he crashed
And
into
he's a
an
severed
island,
head
and it's
as
just
well.
a severed head for some reason,
Yeah.
and he can breathe underwater. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is a hallucination.
Yeah.
They have another alleged meeting in SpongeBob's Road to Christmas special, but this time Patchy's fully animated for some reason,
What?
so I'm pretty skeptical about this
Okay.
one too. In fact, I'm gonna come back to this one. Keep it in mind because it's gonna be very important later on. So, as much as Patchy worships SpongeBob and wants to meet him, he never will. And you don't have to take my word for it either. In a 2009 WonderCon panel with some of the actors and creators of SpongeBob, they talk about the rules they have for writing the show, including the fact that Patchy can never meet SpongeBob.
His character has evolved into this pirate that's obsessed with SpongeBob. Well, they can never meet, right?
Well, yeah, they can never meet. There's a lot of rules in SpongeBob which are there for a reason. I think it's part of the success in a way.
From the very start of his creation,
Wow.
they doomed Patchy to be an obsessed fan who would never meet his idol. He will spend the rest of his life devoted to SpongeBob, but no matter how hard he tries, he will never reach Bikini Bottom, and he will never meet SpongeBob. And, unfortunately, that is the tragic story of Patchy the Pirate. But, if all of that's true, then I just have one lingering question. How come the dumpster behind the Krusty Krab has a message that reads, Patchy was here?
What?
Don't go anywhere, because the time-traveling ghost pirate theory is about to get crazy.
Wow, okay. Yeah, why is that message there? And also, that's a really sad backstory for Patchy. So, part 2. Second part. God, I accidentally clicked out. The origin of the Flying Dutchman.
I'll come back to this message later, but first, we have to talk about the mysterious origins of the Flying Dutchman. The Flying Dutchman is the legendary ghost pirate that haunts Bikini Bottom.
In a pirate ship, the Flying Dutchman descends on Bikini Bottom.
The first time we hear about the Flying Dutchman is in the episode Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost, when SpongeBob finds a comic book about his origins.
It's the origin of the Flying Dutchman. It says when he died, they used his body as a window display.
Yeah, I remember that.
The seven seas because he was never put to rest.
Now, I've always been a little skeptical about this origin, not just because it's claiming they put an actual human corpse
Oh
up
wait,
as
I
a display
didn't
in
think
store,
of that.
but because the Flying Dutchman
That's
itself
really
contradicts it.
disgusting and gross.
Of course, it was the
And
ship
creepy.
he was buried in.
He was never put to rest.
If he was buried, then this origin can't be true. So, who is the Flying Dutchman actually? Well,
A
when I
ghost.
rewatched all the episodes with the Flying Dutchman,
That's
I
what
kept
he is.
noticing that he seems to have
That's who
some
he
kind
is.
of fixation with SpongeBob in particular. In the episode Shanghai, he drops his anchor on SpongeBob's home, which leads to him having to briefly join the Dutchman's crew. Then, in Born Again KRABS, he's about to take Mr. Krabs' soul, but then immediately changes his mind when SpongeBob offers his soul instead. And even in the Camp Coral prequel show, he haunts SpongeBob as a kid. But strangest of all, in Ghost Host, the Dutchman's ship gets destroyed, and out of all the places in Bikini Bottom he could stay, he decides to stay with SpongeBob.
My location where I'll be staying? Business or residence? Residence.
And look at the way he mischievously smiles when he sees SpongeBob. It feels like this is personal for him, but why? The episode Ghost Host is actually the first time we get a bit more depth of the Flying Dutchman's character. At first, he spends all of his time torturing SpongeBob, but eventually, he just wants to stay and hang out with him.
Maybe stay with a friend for a while. Just for a little while longer.
Even though his ship's already been repaired for 3 months.
Actually, I have a
Yeah.
confession, SpongeBob. My ship's been done for 3 months now.
It feels like the Dutchman has some kind of vendetta against SpongeBob specifically, but also, deep down, he's just lonely and wants to be SpongeBob's friend. And
Like
does that
Patchy,
remind
right?
you of anyone? Someone who's desperate to be SpongeBob's
Yeah,
friend, but
yeah.
also has a deep resentment towards him.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's like a bunch of reasons why the Flying Dutchman couldn't be the ghost of Patchy the Pirate. I mean, for starters, they look totally different, right? Different shirt, different hat, and most importantly, the Dutchman doesn't have the iconic hook and eye patch that Patchy does. This is the point where I was
And
about to
both
give
of
up
them
and
were
spoil this
alive.
theory, but
Both of
then I
them are
decided to
alive
move on
at the
to
same
season
time,
1
right?
episode, Arg, where SpongeBob plays a board
Arg.
game called The Flying Dutchman's Treasure that's actually based on the Flying Dutchman's real map.
The Flying Dutchman's treasure hunt.
Based on a real treasure map.
And then I noticed something. One of the game cards actually shows a picture of the Flying Dutchman. I mean, look, he clearly has the same nose and face as him, but this looks like a picture of when he was still alive and had a darker black beard. But the hat he's wearing is not the
That's
usual
Patchy's
Flying Dutchman.
hat.
It is the exact same hat Patchy the Pirate wears. Okay, but he
Wow.
still doesn't have the eye patch and the hook hand, right? Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Neither does Patchy. Patchy's hook is always switching hands, and he constantly takes off his eye patch.
Because he's
Patchy
not a real
isn't
pirate.
He's
He's not a real pirate, yeah.
The great thing about Patchy is that he lives in Encino, California. But he's a pirate. But the only thing that makes him a pirate is that he says he's one and dresses like one.
Okay, fine, but the shirt is still very different. You know, the Dutchman's is all open and it's got those stripy things. Patchy's is more fancy with the big white puffy collar and cuffs. Well, in the Curse of Bikini Bottom, we see the Flying Dutchman's closet and he pulls out the exact same shirt that Patchy wears.
Wow.
Same fancy puffy collar, same cuffs.
Holy
Fine,
crap.
okay? Maybe Patchy the Pirate and the Dutchman look the same, but that doesn't mean they're the same person. It's time we address the elephant in the room. The Flying Dutchman can't be Patchy's ghost.
Patchy's
because
alive.
Patchy is alive at the same time we see the Flying Dutchman. Like, in order for this theory to be true, Patchy would have to die, and then the Dutchman's ghost would show up. But they're simultaneously existing at the same time. Patchy even shows up during an episode all about the Flying Dutchman, and he even calls it his favorite episode.
We're gonna see me favorite show.
Shanghai.
It is physically impossible for Patchy and the Dutchman to be the same person. Or is it? Things are about to get stranger.
Okay. So, okay. That coat and hat that we saw the Flying Dutchman wear, that's really crazy. Especially that shirt. It's about, I get the joke. It's about time, like, finally another theory, like, and finally this part is happening. It's about time that this happens, and it's also about time, because I think the Flying Dutchman is going to time travel, maybe.
When I rewatched all the episodes,
Because, I mean, the theory is called the time traveling ghost pirate theory.
in the season 7 episode, The Curse of Bikini Bottom, the Dutchman gets a girlfriend, but starts to freak out when she wants to get married.
She wants to marry me.
I ain't the marrying type.
But the Dutchman not being the marrying type isn't entirely true. Back in season 3 during Ghost Host, we see that the Dutchman was once married.
Is that a wedding ring?
Oh.
This shows nothing.
Alright, but so what? You know, this just seems like a small continuity error between seasons. No
Season
surprise
4,
for
season
SpongeBob.
2.
But in the season 6 special, SpongeBob vs. the Big One, there's an even stranger moment like this. The Flying Dutchman bumps into Mr. Krabs and says this to him.
Ah! It's the Flying Dutchman! Ah! It's some guy I've never seen before!
He says he's never met Mr. Krabs before, but there are 2 whole episodes from previous seasons dedicated to the Dutchman trying to steal Mr. Krabs' soul for being too greedy. They're even on a first-name basis.
Eugene Krabs! It's some guy I've never seen before!
Alright, so another weird inconsistency with the Dutchman, but I'm still not convinced that it's not just lazy writing. But back in The Curse of Bikini Bottom, there's a moment that cannot be written off as another continuity error. SpongeBob and Patrick accidentally shave off the Dutchman's beard, and the Dutchman claims the beard won't grow back for another 1,000 years.
Your beard will just grow back. You know nothing of my facial hair. It'll take 1,000 years for my beard to grow back.
But by the end of the episode, we cut to several months later, and his beard is back.
The curse will wear off when my beard grows back.
Several months later.
She wants to marry me.
It's not like this is just some plot point they forgot about between episodes. This several months later is in the same episode where the Dutchman says the beard takes 1,000 years to grow back.
It'll take 1,000 years for my beard to grow back.
Several months later.
Why the fuck would they include this line if they were just gonna contradict it a few minutes later in the same goddamn episode? They even blatantly mention that it's several months later twice, as if they're trying to make you realize how inconsistent it is.
Several months later.
Well, here we are several months later.
So, what does any of this mean? Why are the writers of SpongeBob intentionally making the Flying Dutchman as inconsistent as possible? Well, The only way that this makes sense to me is if we're seeing the Flying Dutchman non-chronologically. And by that I mean the Flying Dutchman is time traveling.
I mean,
Just
the
bear with me.
theory is called the time traveling ghost pirate theory. So obviously, the Flying Dutchman will time travel. I mean, that's just common sense, probably.
For SpongeBob, only several months had passed, but for the Dutchman, it actually was 1,000 years later. The Dutchman didn't recognize Mr. Krabs in season 6 because for him, this is the first time they've met, and from his perspective, the episodes where he tries to take Mr. Krabs' soul haven't happened yet. The Dutchman's not the marrying type in season 7, but he probably actually does end up getting married to the giant monster, and that's why we see him with a ring in season 4, because the past is the future for the Flying Dutchman. Whoa. Okay, let's calm down for a second there, Alex. This time travel idea does fix a lot
Sorry, I had to close the door.
Dutchman's continuity, but claiming a character has time travel powers is a major leap. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Flying Dutchman is a very powerful ghost. He can teleport, he can shapeshift, he can grant wishes, but we've never seen him manipulate time.
You get 3 wishes.
Wishes? I wish we had known that earlier.
Okay, you got 2 wishes.
Whoa!
Okay, so the Dutchman's time traveling. And you know what this means? The Flying Dutchman could absolutely be the ghost of Patchy the Pirate, and I'm gonna prove it.
Prove it, Alex. Prove it to me. Prove it to me, Alex. Oh my god. This is definitely what the big twist is coming in. The death of Patchy the Pirate. Oh no, this is where it's gonna get dark.
So, if Patchy the Pirate eventually becomes the Flying Dutchman, that means at some point in the future, Patchy is going to die. Except, here's the thing. I think Patchy is already dead in the present day, and we have already seen his death on screen.
Don't do this to me, Alex. Why? Why do you always do this with every fucking theory? Why do you do this with every fucking theory? Why do you try to ruin my childhood?
Remember that Christmas special I told you would be important later on? It's the season 13 episode SpongeBob for Christmas, and as of recording this, it's the latest episode in the SpongeBob timeline. SpongeBob does meet Patchy in this episode, but for some reason,
I haven't seen this episode yet.
Animated instead of using the usual live-action style.
Ahoy, SpongeBob and Patrick! It's me, Patchy the Pirate!
It honestly feels kind of creepy for some reason, especially since the creators themselves said that Patchy could never meet SpongeBob.
Yeah.
They can never meet. Right? They can never meet.
Is it possible that this isn't the real Patchy? Well, the last time we saw live-action Patchy was in SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout,
It's a
and
separate
that episode
head.
ended with him being fired out of a cannon and crashing into an island. Immediately after that, Patchy's severed head shows up and meets SpongeBob. But I already explained how this is clearly just another hallucination, and he's probably just gonna wake up on the island disappointed that he didn't actually meet SpongeBob like every other time. But what if this is something more than just a simple dream that he can wake up from? I mean, the last shot we saw of the real Patchy was him and Potty face down in the sand, struggling to get out. What if they didn't? And this is what Patchy is hallucinating as he dies.
Oh,
During
no.
this hallucination, he begins singing the show's theme song with SpongeBob to wrap up the episode.
Who's having a birthday under the sea?
But as they're singing, we briefly cut to this horrifying
Whoa.
shot of Patchy's body with Potty's head lying on the island, violently convulsing in pain.
What? What the fuck? What the fuck? What? Is that real? Is that real? I haven't watched this episode yet. Is that real? That can't be real. Is that real? Alex, Alex, you're breaking my mind, bro. Bro, I'm starting to like, my brain is starting to debate what's real and what's not anymore. Am I real? Is this real? Is life real? Like, what the fuck?
It happened so
What the
quick that I
fuck?
didn't process it the first time. But
Th-
goddamn,
that
is
actually
a
showed that to
terrifying
kids.
imagery for a a kids show. Why the fuck did they show this? Is this some kind of
They actually
PG
showed that to
symbolic
kids.
way to show Patchy and Potty suffocating to death in the sand? Holy shit!
What the fuck? My brain. My brain. My brain. My brain is imploding and exploding at the same time. I actually showed that to kids.
So, let's say Patchy and Potty, the hosts of the SpongeBob SquarePants television show, are dead. What happens now? Well, the show must go on. The SpongeBob SquarePants television show has to continue without him, but they need a new host to replace Patchy. Except, are they really gonna tell their young audience that their beloved Patchy the Pirate and Potty the Parrot are dead?
No.
They're gonna replace them with animated actors.
Sorry. My battery is going to run out soon. So I gotta be quick about this.
Hey, that's showbiz for you. But
Yeah,
what happened
they
to the real
replaced
Patchy
them with
after he died?
actors, of
Well,
course.
he became a ghost and could finally be designed as SpongeBob. Except when he goes to Bikini Bottom, what would he see? SpongeBob and all of his friends partying without him. Patchy dedicated his entire life to SpongeBob. He even died for him, and SpongeBob never even knew Patchy existed. And that resentment that's been building up inside of Patchy for all of these years finally explodes. And this is how Patchy the Pirate becomes the Flying Dutchman. Patchy is done pretending to be a pirate and dressing up in his fake costumes.
Damn.
He gets a new look, a new identity, and now he can finally live out the fantasy of being a real pirate. Remember that board game that they said was based on a real map for the Flying Dutchman?
Based on a real treasure map.
We never really did see the map that it was based on, or did we? Remember when Patchy was looking for the Lost SpongeBob episode? He used this map to find it. Now,
Whoa, okay, hold on. Yeah, they're actually very similar. Red X in the middle, tree right here, compass right there. I think those are those palm trees? I think those are palm trees. Yeah, palm trees. Turtle right there. Wow, that's really similar. Oh, look, fish right here. Holy crap.
All that similar, but the more I looked at it, the more my mind was blown. Same red X in the middle.
Yeah.
You got the compass,
Yeah.
the palm trees,
Yeah.
a turtle,
Yeah.
a fish. But
Yeah.
most importantly, they both have the forked tree.
To the forked tree.
Look for the deacon's goose through the fork in the old tree.
That
Wow.
is a very specific
Holy
detail.
crap.
You would not just see that on any random map. The Flying
What the
Dutchman
fuck?
based his map off of the one from his past. So, he's become the Flying Dutchman now, and his main target for haunting is, of course,
SpongeBob.
the one who ignored him his entire life, SpongeBob SquarePants. But how did Patchy become such a powerful ghost who can even manipulate time itself? Well, there's actually an episode in Season 12 called The Ghost of Plankton that gives us a pretty clear understanding of how ghost powers work. It basically just takes time and effort to grow your powers. Patchy's already given SpongeBob 20 years of dedication. Might as well go a little further with it as the Dutchman. Patchy travels back in time to visit all of his favorite, most cherished SpongeBob episodes, including his favorite episode,
Shanghai.
We're gonna see my favorite show, Shanghai.
Except now, he's not just watching the episode.
He's
the
in
one
the
who's-
episode.
He's gonna make SpongeBob pay for everything he's done. And he's gonna make him pay over and over and over again.
Damn.
But then we get to the episode Ghost Host. Patchy initially moves in with SpongeBob to torture him, but as much as he tries to deny it, deep down he's still that devoted
He still wants to
fan.
be his
He just
friend.
wants SpongeBob to be his friend. As much as he wants to pretend to be the Dutchman, deep down, Patchy is still here. And that is why, if you go to the Krusty Krab after closing, and you go out the back to the dumpster, you can still read the words, Patchy was here. Yes, he certainly was. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the time travel.
Damn, holy
Thank you
crap.
very much. Oh shit, what about Potty? He died
Oh,
with
I
Potty too, right?
actually forgot about it. He's not important.
I can figure this out. Just give me a
We
second.
hate him
You just
anyways.
literally
No,
watch
he's
every
just
single
dead.
episode of SpongeBob.
Dead forever. So, no, you don't
Spin-offs
need to.
too. Okay, let me see. The motherfucker ate him! That is the traveling ghost pirate theory, baby. I am done.
Oh
See ya.
Yo. Bravo. Bravo, Alex. That was actually very interesting. That motherfucker ate him. But I don't care anyways, because I hated Potty as a kid. He was just fucking a savage towards Patchy. Damn. Well, that was the video, so peace, see ya guys. Don't worry, videos coming out soon, sometime later this month, probably, maybe, hopefully for some of you. Peace, guys. And I also will keep reacting to these theories because they're very, very interesting. And I'm going to be doing the same thing that I did right there, only the theory part and not the skits that are part of the ARG. So it shortens time and don't fucking explode my whole battery. So peace, guys. See you later. Yeats.